I don't even know. Am I fucking live? Damn, it took a while that time. I think literally the last time I streamed, I was like, oh wow, look at how fast it is now. Alright, maybe I was just lucky. Hey. You know, I'm not gonna do the thing, okay? I'm not gonna do the thing. I'm gonna try my hardest to keep myself from doing the thing that I used to do all the time, which is start every stream by talking about how, last stream, I said I was gonna stream on this day, and it's not that day, but I am gonna say this time, just because I'm kind of surprised with myself a little bit. Yeah, I think last time I said, like, I had such a good time, which is true. I did have, like, a pretty good time. I feel like I'm forgetting something. This used to happen a lot. It's happening again. This is probably just, like, the natural effect of, you know, taking, like, longer breaks in between each stream. I'm sure you could see a trend with my VODs whenever there's, like, more than a week difference in between stream. Within, like, the first 5 minutes of streaming, I say, I think I'm forgetting something. But I do be thinking I'm forgetting something. I think I'm fine, though. I think I'm fine. Let me make sure I'm outputting audio and everything. That would be so embarrassing if I was just fucking muted. No, it looks good. Okay. But yeah, I did have a good time the last time I streamed. I was playing my own video game. The one that I made just for me. Isn't that what people say? Like, you're supposed to... if you want to be, like, a creator of anything who has, like... I don't know. Self-respect. Then you create things for yourself. So, yeah, Bounty Below, definitely a game for me. One of my favorites, honestly. Can't keep myself away from it. I'm not sure if the sarcasm is strong enough. But, yeah, no, I did have a good time on that stream. Though I was definitely nervous starting out. And that effect was worse this time around. Like, the, I think I'm doing okay now that I've actually hit the start streaming button, but goddamn, there is like a much stronger barrier than there used to be for me hitting that button. I'm not sure if it's... I mean, it's probably due to a number of things, right? But, you know, being gone for such a long time before... And I'm not talking about the 2 weeks or however long it's been since my last stream. I mean, like, the multiple months I took off. Probably doesn't help in getting back into, normalcy when it comes to streaming. So I'm sure that plays a pretty large role in it. But I also feel like, I mean, not that it's really, you know, made that big of an impact with the streaming environment or anything. Like, I've yet to have someone come in and be like, you know, I'm here from your Discord, I played your game, and now I'm here. And I'm kind of glad, as I talked about a little bit more at length last time. It's, I don't know. It's a little bit nerve-wracking thinking about. Like, I don't know. It's not that many people. Like, I shouldn't get that nervous about it. Especially because the likelihood of anybody navigating from the Discord to my stream at fucking, what time is it? America time? Like 4? 4 in the morning? I did mean to start sooner. And honestly, my fucking hair is so ratty today. I did shower. Contrary to TikTok's belief, I do shower every single day that I plan on streaming. I don't shower every day, but definitely if I'm gonna stream, I'm gonna shower. I like to be a clean boy. I feel like being a clean boy gives off very clean energy. This is one of the cleanest streams on Twitch. No sort of raunchy behavior over here. But what was I talking about? I feel like I always die on this screen in the exact same way the first time I go through it. It's tighter than it looks. Winky face. I don't even know what that means. But whenever you say the word tight, I feel like there has to be a winky face involved, right? But, yeah, no, I definitely, like, even now, like, fully aware that nobody is probably watching me right now. I mean, like, maybe, would it be better? Like, it's so funny to think about, like, previously having to turn off the view count because seeing that I was streaming to nobody, like, made me feel bad. It's kind of funny to think that I honestly prefer if I was streaming to nobody. I don't know what makes it different that, like, if, you know, some fucking rando on Twitch just wandered over and clicked on my stream, which never happens, by the way. But, if it happened, it wouldn't bother me at all. And it, you know, obviously did happen in the past, and there's the exception with, like, massive raids. Well, I say massive, you know, compared to my normal viewership, I guess. But when I did get raids that were like, you know, you go from 1 or 2 viewers to, hey, now, like, 20 people are watching you, which only happened, like, once or twice in the entirety of me doing streaming. But it is certainly a little bit nerve-wracking at the start. I don't even think one of them was a raid. I think one of them was related to me just being in a Discord with somebody who wanted to be nice and just, like, sent as many viewers from the Discord as they could over my way, which is nice. Though, I don't know, I just never felt comfortable about that situation. Here I am, as usual, pivoting, like, 13 different tangents, can never get a single thought through. I feel like I was especially bad about that on my Bounty Below stream. You had me saying shit like, this will be a bugless stream. I'm never gonna see a bug live on my live stream playing my own game. As I had literally... Wow. Very good gameplay. As I had literally shown a bug, like, I don't know, somewhere between 20 and 30 minutes prior to me saying that sentence. I was particularly scatterbrained during the last stream. Though somehow still found myself having a good time and thinking that the stream was okay afterwards. It was probably fine. I'm probably over-exaggerating a little bit, but thinking back, I really... I remember at least a handful of tangents that wow, really? That kills? Yes, it does kill. I remember a handful of tangents I started, but never finished. And here I go doing that again. What was I fucking talking about? I actually have no idea. But, who cares? I think it's... I don't know. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I used to... I mean, it's probably not a good thing, right? But I used to hold myself more accountable for that than I think currently do. Just because, like, I've noticed in... I think it used to bug me more than it does, is basically the sentiment I'm going for here. Like, even in content I watch, like, I used to be a little bit annoyed when a topic was brought up and then a tangent is formed and the topic is... Like, the original topic is never revisited, but I don't know. I honestly don't think it matters at all. But still, I do try and, you know, it's not like I'm actively going out of my way to forget topics that I brought up. I mean, that's like the number one thing you should try and avoid is, like, you're already spinning conversation by yourself for hours at end. Loose threads of conversation are a death sentence. You wanna spin it for as long as possible. Keep that yarn going. Unravel it as much as possible. Try and ravel it back up every now and then, so that, you know, it's not a complete fucking mess on your floor. But still, It definitely makes sense to go on tangents when you're trying to fucking talk by yourself for hours. You know, I gotta keep myself entertained here, too. I can only be so entertained by the end is nigh. I should not go after waiting, like, 3 solid seconds after respawning there. But it's nice to... I mean, there's a reason... Like, I had something planned that I wanted to stream today. And I still plan on doing it, because I think it'll be fun. It's something I had thought of doing for, like, a while. Talked myself out of it, because it might be considered mean-spirited. It's not. Like, I think I've landed on the conclusion that I don't think it's mean-spirited, so long as I preface it at the start a particular way that I'm going to. I'll just say it. Like, there's no... I don't know why I was, like, trying to keep secret. Like, it's a big fucking reveal. Again, I'm probably fucking streaming to nobody, so it doesn't matter. But, I plan on... Fun idea I had. I plan on doing a tier list. Is that still popular? Probably not. I think the only... and no offense, Ryan. I know I talk about Ryan constantly. To the point where I don't even want to say Northern Lion because I feel like I mention Ryan often enough. Not that we're on a first-name basis or anything. But I feel like I mention him enough that, you can fill in the blanks as to who I'm talking about. I have no other Ryans in my life. But yeah, like, no offense meant, but for someone who is, especially more recently, I say more recently, it's been like a few years since he started kind of a pivot in channel direction, but somewhat recently. Yeah, he has been going for the, a more different style, some would say better style of content, especially better for getting new people who you haven't already caught with your incredibly widespread net. What am I doing? Widespread net of, what is it, like 4,000 Isaac episodes? I think you caught all of the fish you're gonna catch with that one. But, for someone who... There's something weird that happens when you ledge grab a disappearing platform. Not that it... Why am I failing on this screen so fucking much? I never remember this one being problematic. There you go. Just don't erase every single tile. I was doing surprisingly good, by the way. I made it decently far before the first continue. Farther than I thought I would. Being, fairly out of practice, but I guess it's like riding a bike. Isn't that relatable? Says the guy who can't ride a bike. But, anyways. Tangents. I was gonna say, while he has, he's been spreading out his content more, I wouldn't say he's always the most timely. And me neither! Don't act like you're ahead of the curve or anything. I'm pretty bad about it, too. Like I said, I'm doing a fucking tier list. Why does this one always scare me? It's really not that bad. Yeah, I will be doing a tier list of my YouTube subscribers. Not like the people who are subscribed to me, but the people I'm subscribed to. Which is why I kind of fumbled getting that sentence out, is because I wasn't sure. I was gonna say subscribers, and I did say subscribers, but there was some hesitancy because it's, I guess, subscribed is the more apt term, but whatever. It gets the message across. Language is more about, like, the vibe than it is about the words you're saying. That's what I've always said. Sorry, that's what I've always vibed. There you go. But yeah, I thought that would be fun. Like, look, I can definitely see the argument that it might be considered in poor taste, but, like, you have to also understand that everyone I'm subscribed to on YouTube, I'm subscribed to because I like their content, or there are a few exceptions. Actually, like, maybe just one exception. Which I'll explain. It's not, well, it is a bad exception, but like, I don't think it necessarily reflects poorly on me. Maybe it does. Let's let the YouTube comments on my own video sort that one out. Let that like-dislike ratio get its legwork in. Get your fucking steps in, likes and dislikes. Nice timing. But, yeah, anyways. That's what I plan on doing later. Who fucking knows how many tangents I've already abandoned, by the way? Probably a handful. But let's get back to one of them, which is, I did plan on starting the stream earlier today, but I got slightly distracted. One of the distractions, of which you can see, should have maybe addressed that sooner. Not that it's that big of a deal, but, like, it is kind of weird to have a cold open when there's a bit of an elephant in the room, so to speak. But, yeah, I... in procrastination to starting the stream, updated the background. Isn't it pretty? Like, it is a lot better looking. And I'm not... I'm really bad at, like... I don't know. Like, I fucking suck at UI work in games, and this is basically that. Like, a fucking stream overlay is as close as you get to video game UI work. But I've got a method, alright? It's a very cheap, and cheesy method to get good-looking whatever this aesthetic is. Whatever the fuck the background of my stream right now is, it's a very cheap and easy way that I have discovered, and I have patent pending, so don't even think about doing it yourself. But, now I'll illustrate exactly how to do it. So you can go to patent jail if you want to. Yeah, I take foliage. So I think for this one, I literally just like google.com'd deep forest. Got like a somewhat appealing like bit of, you don't want like, try and keep away from obvious to distinguish features. Like, you can't fucking look at what I'm looking at right now. You can't look at the background and see a single bit of deep forest in there. Hopefully. That's what I tried to do, at least. Just get, like, the thick... You just want the texture. Like, just the texture of overlapping leaves and branches. Just looks nice. Like, it's a nice berry texture, and if you mess with the contrast and brightness enough, then... you get something that looks pretty similar to what I've got here, minus the gradient. And the gradient's the easy part. You get the texture out of the foliage, you grayscale the image, use that layer as like, I don't fucking know how to use the terminology correctly, but you just set that to a multiply layer, so that it just multiplies the brightness of whatever layer is beneath it, and then beneath it you plop a fucking gradient down, and there you go. I mean, I'm skipping a few steps, like the messing with the brightness and contrast is finicky to get it to look good. I also, because I use paint.net, it has the ability to handily, within the application, just render I think it's Perla noise? They have it listed as clouds, but I think the actual thing it is Perla noise, using the two colors you have selected. So I usually just do and this is going way too deep into my methodology for such, like, it's a cheap, I don't know. I think it looks good, but it is cheap. Like, no actual effort. Like, this is this is literally, like, I'm not gonna pull out my skateboard again, but this is literally, like, the kind of backing that my fucking skateboard has. Like, it's mass-producible. Skillful jumping. It's, yeah, there's no real artistry going on. I mean, I'm sure you could do fancier stuff than what I did using the same methods, but the way I went is about as simple as it gets. so I'm not going to dwell on it too much longer. But I will say, generate the Perlin noise / clouds using paint.net. Use the reflect filter on that when generating it, which just, like, I don't really know what the reflect does. Like, I mean, I could probably, if I cared enough, just look at it long enough to figure out what it does. But I think it only takes the brightness into account, like the brightness of the layer. And it does something, dude. I'm not gonna pretend like I can figure it out. But it does something. It makes it look better. It makes the brights brighter in the section. Dude, I'm so good. In the sections of the Perlin noise that are bright, and it makes the darks not as dark than the brights. I think that's the difference between multiply and reflector. Maybe I just have no fucking clue what I'm talking about, which is likely. But, you know, it does something, alright? It makes, like, nice little highlights without losing that much detail, which is the biggest thing. Because you want to keep, like, as much of your starting foliage texture intact as possible until the very end, where you just, like, fuck it with brightness and glow and just absolutely ruin it. Like tons of post-processing effects to really make it pop, you know? But absolutely ruin the texture, but that's fine. Anyways, yeah, that's what I did. Basically, you just take that, like I said, I did glow it a little bit. Again, these are just functions and paint.net. I should probably toss it since I died. One death? That's a reset. We're going for a deathless run here. It's deathless until the point where I no longer care about resetting. Which usually happens around the second area. I think that's the old methodology I used to use. Was make it to the second area without deaths, and then you're usually pretty good to go. But also, like, I don't know. One early death really doesn't mean that much. Like, I was fucking flawless for so long on that first run there. But, just like a handful of screens and, like, I don't know. Honestly, like, focusing too much on the game. Like, whenever I focus on the game, it's much better to just, I don't know. I feel like I do better when I'm autopiloting a little bit, although, I don't know, was that from me focusing too hard? Let's not get superstitious about it. That's unnecessary. We're just gaming here, alright? We don't need to hyper-analyze every single reason behind every death. But yeah, so I procrastinated a little bit. Partially due to, like, the nerves of hitting the go live button now. And partially just to, I don't know. I had, like, a little bit of a malaise day. Like, I just woke up feeling low energy. And that kind of sustained. It's probably because I used melatonin to help me sleep last night. Usually leaves me feeling a little bit groggy for the entire remainder of the next day, so I don't really know why I do it. Like, it feels nice to fall asleep instantly, because I just fucking hate the feeling. Especially, like, I'm trying to... I don't want to stream at fuck o'clock in the morning, but my sleep schedule has been so bad recently. And, I mean, you know, partially is... it's understandable. Alright, let's simplify the sentence there. You know, it is fuck o'clock in the morning. I can only use so much brain power. The rest is rotted away. The classic brain rot throughout the day. It's more likely than you think. Beef Brain. What a good game. I miss the days where I was playing, I didn't do it on stream, so it's not like you can relate. But I miss the days of playing, Hypnospace Outlaw. There you go, that's the name. Brain Rot, Beef Brain. It's a good game. For anyone who hasn't checked it out, for the thousands of viewers I have right now, I'm sure. I would recommend it. I feel like I have no influence. Like, I was considering, like, I saw Tolo play, like, an absolutely gorgeous game made by one person. At least I think it's made by one person, because he's pretty confident it was made by one person. But, yeah, fucking, I don't even remember the name of it. That's how cool I am. I think it's called A Journey North? Or A Northward Journey? It has something to do with journeying and going north. But, it's just, like, it blows me away, honestly. And, like, the developer posted, like, a how I fucking make a level video to their YouTube channel, and I just was blown away even more. Like, they make all, well, I shouldn't say all, because I don't know that for a fact, but I'm pretty sure they make all of their assets themselves, which for a 3D game is substantially more work. And then obviously they make their levels themselves, and it just, like, the dedication, it's like you don't fucking need to get your own, like, foliage to make assets, but this motherfucker is, like, going out on nature trips and, like, collecting twigs and flowers and stuff so that he can take a good picture of them and import them into his game. It's just way too much work. And a much better end result than anything I've ever made. So, hugely impressive. I don't know, it's like one of their first projects, too. At least one of their first public projects. So, I have nothing but, like, praise for the developer. I went to their Twitter. I don't remember what the name of their Twitter was. But that developer, A Journey North, I'm pretty confident is the name of the game. Nothing but respect. But yeah, I wanted to recommend it. And, like, I thought about it, and I might still just, like, leave a link to the store page in my Discord and be like, everyone should play this because it's fucking amazing and it's made by one person and good god is it beautiful. Like, I just can't stress enough, like, the areas are so in-depth and beautifully crafted. Like, I'm gushing, I know. It's just like, god damn it, dude. Why do I fucking suck at everything I touch? I don't mean that in, like, a self-pity way, because I know everyone, the second you make a joke at your own expense, people are like, no, I fucking love Bounty Below, it's my favorite game ever. But, look, alright, I haven't... Ooh, nice. I haven't made a game that's up to my own standards yet, and maybe I never will, which is also part of my ongoing panic attack since releasing Bounty Below. The never-ending panic attack. You love to have it. But, yeah, I don't fucking know, dude. Games take so goddamn long to make. And there's some part of me that's like, I spent way too long making a game that I'm not even happy with. I find some bits and pieces of happiness in Bounty Below, but I don't know. Like, it's hard to talk yourself out of it once you realize, like, you've already gone too far once you start thinking, like, why am I still working on this project? Though I'm pretty sure that's a thought that comes into any game developer working on any fucking game. Especially the more you're, like, the sole developer, the more you probably get those thoughts. I feel like it's inevitable to think, like, I should have been done with this, you know, X amount of time sooner. But, for, you know, a multitude of reasons, games take a very long time to make. And some of that, at least for me, is motivational. Like, it just, especially working on Bounty Below, like, so much of it was just, like, finding the strength within. And it had to be, like, sheer brute forced. Like, I could not will into existence any ounce of, like, actual inspiration for finishing Bounty Below. I just had to, you know, put my fucking face to the grindstone and run my head down to a goddamn stump, because none of it was enjoyable. It was like a project that was dead to me after, like, the first few months of development, but I just, for whatever reason, I probably shouldn't have, but I think the main reason I kept going towards completion was because I released the version that I did early on itch. I think if I didn't ever release any of Bounty Below, I probably would have just abandoned it. That might have been for the better. But I did release it, and so I did feel compelled, because on the itch version, there's literally, like, the sign you start on top of when you start a dungeons run that currently is the key bindings, that you can rebind, by the way. PSA. Those are rebindable. That sign on the itch version just says, like, dungeons coming soon to Steam version or something. I don't remember exactly what I wrote. But that is more or less. And, like, I did get emails, and I did get messages on the itch page of people being like, you know, when is the game coming out? Like, I was so excited for this, but blah, blah, blah. It's fucking years later, and it's still not out, which I understand. But, hey, I fucking suck at telling myself to do something I don't want to, evidently. It didn't go so smoothly for the years of development of Bounty Below. And I did have plenty of, like, real-life things that got in the way as well. Like, I fucking worked at GameStop for close to a year. That definitely didn't speed up development time. Dude, what are with the fucking easiest screens of all time? But there is a regression before the progression. You'll find new ways to fuck up. It's interesting. Like, I'm sure there's some psychiatric research to be done about, like, skill improvement, if it hasn't already been done. I'm sure that seems like a broad enough study to think that that's been done before, right? Just the interest in, like, getting better at something. It does feel like you typically get worse before you get better. And, while that can definitely feel bad in the moment, like I did I went, like, how many areas without using a continue, and then I used a continue all within the confines of this one area, more or less. It's it's whatever. I think acknowledging it helps, right? Like, if you just... Even if it's, like, complete placebo, and maybe I'm talking out my fucking ass, and the regression before the progression is, like, completely unfounded and has no relation to real-world cause and effect. It's possible. But I feel like there's a little bit of placebo in just, like, acknowledging it makes me... so close. Why did I let go of the shift button so soon? Acknowledging it makes me feel better about doing bad. Because, I mean, there's some hope to it. Like, while you might be doing bad in the moment, there is the included promise that as a result of doing worse, you're gonna do better. And I think, I think no matter what, even if, like, there's no basis to, like, back that up in reality, I think the proof is inevitable. Depending on... I was going to say regardless, exact opposite of what I meant. Depending on how much time you spend doing the thing. Because I think progress and improvement is, well, I don't know, there's probably some cases where this isn't true. But I feel like in most cases, the more you do something, like if you're looking to get better or to accomplish a goal, which usually involves getting better to accomplish said goal. So whenever there is improvement involved, awesome. I think the history seems to point towards the longer you do something, the better you get at it. So if there are ever moments of regression, so long as you don't stop in those moments of regression, like give up is what I mean by stop, so long as you don't give up, just by nature of continuing to do the thing over and over again, you're gonna get better. So you know what? We brute forced our way to a degree in psychology. Where's my degree? I think I've earned it. That's my thesis. I think I've earned it, honestly. I put in the work. What, you have to, like, go to school for 4 years or something? Honestly, bullshit. That's just what they want you to know. Or that's what they want you to think so that, you pay their hourly wages. Anyways. Sorry. I don't know what I'm fucking talking about. It honestly, there is a little bit of brain rot going on right now. I should try, and I'm fucking hungry, dude, and my fucking arm hurts, and I already mentioned the malaise from the melatonin. I've got fucking melatonin brain. So if I'm stumbling over my words more often than usual, can you really blame me? Probably. But, I'd rather you didn't, so take that into consideration. Do I have a continue left? I don't think I do. I think this is it. I think this is all I've got. So what was I talking about? Procrastinating. I'm goddamn procrastinating ending this tangent. That's what I'm doing. But, that's, like I said, that's a good thing. You want to spend as much airtime talking about, like, meaningless bullshit as possible when you stream. At least that's my strategy. I don't know. Is it working? I don't think the numbers necessarily reflect that it's working, but just numbers in general on Twitch don't really reflect anything. At least they definitely... they probably reflect something. They reflect, a certain number statement at the end of whatever fucking pay cycle Twitch operates on. They'll affect that for sure. They'll affect your tax, your taxation. Is it true? Is it true that streamers get fucked by tax? I would imagine so. But I don't know. I've always heard that streamers get, like, really fucked over by taxes. And thought that... Oh, I do have a continue. Thought that there's no way that's comparable to the amount of fucked over that, like, especially very small independent game developers get fucked over by taxes. Which is that, I know there are, like, things you can do. Like, if I wanted to be good about it and, like, do things the right way, I think the way I'm supposed to do it is have a company. And maybe I shouldn't say that I don't have a company, but I should have, like, an official, recognized by the law company. And that's, all of the income from the game go directly to that company, and I pay myself on a salary. Because I think the taxation for... Oh, and I fucked it. I think the taxation for independence is much steeper than that of, like, a business. I don't know exactly how it works, but I kind of have the rough idea of what you're supposed to do to skirt around it a little bit in your favor. And this is not tax evasion, okay? This is not, I'm not fucking holding a tax haven in the middle of, what's the big one? Fucking, I should know this because Sips, content creator, tangentially related to Ryan, lives there. It's some fucking name. It's Jersey, that's it. There you go, Jersey, tax haven. Anyway, take those pieces together, make your own joke. Pretend like I did it, give me all the credit, and think fondly of me. But, yeah, this is not tax evasion, alright? Like, as I was trying to say, sole developers get particularly fucked over by taxes because, like, if you have a successful game release, like a very successful game, a lot of your income is gonna come, like, all in a week or so. Like, the majority of what you're going to make out of years of labor is going to come within, like, the first few weeks of release. If it had a successful launch, which, there are some games that have, like, a good tail end and that kind of thing. Here's hoping for Bounty Below. I'm not dissatisfied with the numbers on Bounty Below. The only thing that gets me a little bit bitter is the fact that Chroma Blast did better. That's the only thing. Alright, and it was released 5 years ago. So, the landscape is a little bit different, but allow me to be a little bit bitter that Bounty Below's first impressions. And, you know, I also had like a day one bug that made some people unable to play the game. So that didn't go quite as smoothly, but still. I think it's I genuinely think it's the leaderboards that pushed Chroma Blast to the numbers that it ended up having. I think it was people just being able to you know, put any amount of score down, and then, as people typically do, you know, neg their friends on to be like, hey, beat my score. Hey, play me at a fighting game, even though I've got approximately 3,000 more hours in it than you. I just need one more win to satisfy me, and then I'll be done. I know how it's like. But, yeah, I don't fucking know, dude. I could hyperanalyze it all I want. I'm probably never gonna come to a satisfying conclusion as to why Chroma Blast had, like, surprisingly good day one numbers. And, like, the first week of Chroma Blast got, more thousands than I would have expected. So, you know, you definitely go in with some level of expectation when you release another game for free. Doing, you know, the same amount of marketing and everything, a la Zero. But, no, that's not true. I guess technically Bounty Below had more marketing than Chroma Blast did. Because I had the itch release ahead of time. I had the fucking Reddit post, like that matters at all. I fucking hate Reddit. I've got too many tangents going. I'm gonna tie things up and maybe I'll remember to get back to Reddit. But fuck Reddit, dude. There's one comment that I've already shat on it in my Discord. Like, I've already vented about it. I've vented about it to my girlfriend. You know, I've vented on this fucking comment enough. But, you know, the stream it's like a fun little recording of venting. So that, like, not that I ever will. But I could just, it's a diary, honestly. This is my personal diary. Please don't fucking look at it. If anyone's watching this right now, weird. Mind your privacy. My privacy, I guess? Anyways, that joke's over. What was I saying? I'm done with the Reddit. I might come back to it, but... See, now I've already fucking lost whatever train of thought I was on before. Retrace your steps, Will. You got this. I feel like part of the reason why I never make it back to, like, a topic of conversation that I've forgotten is that I never allow myself, like, just 10 seconds. Just 10 fucking seconds of dead air to think for a little bit. Like, I've constantly got my brain going on what to say next. Which is stupid. So now I'm gonna take the time. Before Reddit, how would I even get on the topic of Reddit? Marketing for Bounty Below. Disappointment. Man, there was something before that, though. How did I get on the topic of disappointment and Bounty Below? I think that's too far back. I think my beef brain is gonna grind its gears down to little stubs if I try and go that far back. Whatever. Point is, I can't even go so far as to say what the point is. Point is, I'm dumb, dude. I'm fucking stupid as hell. Let's leave it at that. Who knows what the topic was? It's fucking lost forever. So, if the original topic is lost, which I'm finding that it verifiably is, I might as well go off on Reddit, dude. I know at some point, I'm still trying to retrace the steps. At some point, I pivoted off of talking about how I have no influence and how I wanted to talk about A Journey North. Because it is a great game, by the way. Play it. But, oh yeah, taxes! There you go. Okay, so all your income... I made it. All your income comes in within the span of, like, you know, a few days if you're lucky, I guess. Maybe that's unlucky for tax purposes, but, you know, a good release typically means you get, like, a lot of money up front, and hopefully a nice tail, but, you know, it peters after the release. And there can be things you can do to like, increase it again, like major updates or DLCs or that kind of thing. Well, DLC is, like, its own separate tail, I guess, but anyways. Yeah. Point is, that's not so great for taxes. Like, I'm sure you can do the math yourself. Like, spending years without any income to all of a sudden you're, like, in the highest American tax bracket, if you did well, again. And then going back to having years with no income is rough. So, yeah, I should probably, before I have any ounce of success, look into that kind of thing, because, like, once you have the success, like, it's already too late. Like, if I collect that income in my name, I can't just retroactively be like, IRS, turn your fucking backs for a second, and, like, relabel it as, you know, WillPending Inc. or whatever the fuck. It's a little bit too late once you've already made it, so. You know, but I just fucking, like, doing the research is annoying. Like, I am more likely, and this is real, I'm genuinely more likely to, like, get a fucking accountant and just, like, be able to ask them the question. Like, hey, what do I fucking do in this situation? Like, what do you recommend? Because it's so much easier to get an answer by asking someone than to do your own research. Like, just take someone else who's already done... This is why they're professions, you know? Take someone who's already done the research and get the answer there. Like, I find it so frustrating. Like, I had this happen when I released Chroma Blast. I asked... Or maybe it wasn't Chroma Blast. Maybe it was Bounty Below. I think I was gearing up... And this is hilarious, I know. I was gearing up for the release of Bounty Below years ago. and I asked, because, like, the I don't even know where to access this. I'm pretty sure it still exists, but I honestly have no idea how to access. There's like a Steam group specifically for developers. Like, if you've made a Steam game, you get, like, a special fucking exclusive little group you can meme in. But, yeah, I asked a question there. And I thought it was, you know, not that unreasonable of a question, but the first person who responded thought differently. Honestly, maybe just, like, a fucking... It was a Reddit tier comment. I don't know if there's a statement to be made about that, but I feel like any group whatsoever that has, like, I don't even know if it's a good reason, but, like, any incentive. I mean, people will take any reason whatsoever to feel superior, right? And especially in, like, an open public environment where you can take as much time as you want. Like, there's no live aspect to it. You can take fucking years to reply to something on Reddit. And, you know, same goes for that Steam thread I made or whatever the fuck. If you can, within your ability, maybe they already knew, maybe they looked it up and did the research for me, which, you know, I'm thankful for, because that's the entire reason I asked the question. But, yeah, people will just take, like, basically any opportunity they can to feel superior to a complete fucking stranger. So, Reddit tier comment. First comment I got was, well, here's the question. I asked, like, it was something to do with, in the Valve, like, Steam terms of service, is it okay to have any sort of... And you know, I had a hunch. Like, I'm not gonna say, like, I thought it was totally fine. I had a hunch that it probably wasn't fine. But, on the off case that it was fine, you gotta ask, right? Or / do your own research. But asking's easier, so I asked. You gotta ask, is it okay to have any sort of link in-game to an external source of income? Like, for example, would it be okay to have a game on Steam and, like, say I had a fucking merch store, right? Like, say I had a goddamn Patreon or whatever, right? Would it be acceptable under the terms of service to, like, in-game have a button you click that opens up, like, my own store, of which Valve obviously gets no cut? So, you know, that's the part where it struck me as pretty obvious that it wasn't going to be okay. But still I asked, and the first fucking answer is just some guy being like, not helpful at all, by the way. Some guy just saying, and he probably didn't fucking know the answer either, mind you, but just saying, oh my god, can you believe, and I'm exaggerating a bit, because I don't fucking remember what they said, and I deleted the post immediately afterwards, because I don't want fucking proof and evidence of some person being a piece of shit to me. I mean, look, I think that they were more in the wrong, but I also kind of agree that, like, yeah, they didn't own me, okay? I'm not owned. I am not owned. But there is some truth to be said about doing your own research, especially on this kind of thing. But yeah, the sentiment that they had was basically, oh my god. Can you believe the kind of developers they let on the Steam platform these days? You can look up the terms of service yourself, and you should already have it memorized. Which, by the way, terms of service for, like, developing a game for Steam are, as you would expect for any major corporation, it's like fucking 200 pages long. You should have it memorized by heart, good Boy Scout. So yeah, they didn't fucking answer the question, which just look. Like, I know they're doing the fucking classic, let me Google that for you, except they didn't Google it for me. They're just, you know, being smug about, hey, you can do this yourself, and I know I can do it myself, but that's not why I asked the question. I want someone to do it for me, or, better yet, someone to not have to spend as much work as it would be for me to read through the legalese of, you know, the Valve terms of service, because it's, you know, it's a thick fucking document. If someone's already, you know, looked into it enough to know the answer by heart, then it's a lot less work for them to just type out the answer to me than it is for me to fucking go through all that work myself. Yeah, they were a dick, basically. How did I fucking get started on that? I, again, have lost the plot completely. I'm so bad about that lately. I don't know what it is. Probably something to do with sleep deprivation, something to do with that ongoing constant panic attack I mentioned. I don't know. But whatever it is, I'd like it to cut it out, man. Cut it the frick out. Oh god. My shoulder is, like, actually killing me, though. Like, I don't know if I slept on it wrong, or if it's just because I'm gaming, you know? Intense keyboard gaming. Yeah, I don't know. I don't fucking know what I was talking about before I got on the, I mentioned Tax Haven, I mentioned... I mean, maybe it was just a direct pivot off of that. I don't fucking know. I don't, you know, I'm done with that. Let's go back to, like, the original. Back to basics, man. Because there was more I procrastinated on. I was supposed to, you know, do work on Bounty Below today, but, it didn't happen today, folks. Didn't happen today, gamers. Like, I fucking stun-locked myself, and I'm not even paying attention to the game. While you do want to be autopilot, you don't want to... You want a pilot, alright? You don't want no pilot. Autopilot is still a pilot. Let there be a pilot, even if it's not a great one. But, yeah, I kind of stun-locked myself by... wanting, and I still do, and I still plan on it, wanting to do, like, the entirety of every single sound effect for dungeons all in one update, and I vastly underestimated how much work that would be. Like, in the back of my head, I always kind of knew it would be a lot, but even then, I still, like, the number in my head was nowhere close. Like, I actually, before I you know, went through looking at every single object in the game and figuring out, like, what needs a sound effect. Before I did that, I had actually, in my head, thought, oh, I could do this. I can add sound effects to everything I need to in dungeons in 3 days. I'll have the update done by the end of the week and have, like, some days to relax. No. Not even close, buddy. It's gonna be a long one. I really don't want it to be, like, the worst. The problem is, like I said, I fucking stunlocked myself. I've now realized how much work there is, and just the sheer number of sound effects I need to make means I could, you know, what do you even fucking start with? So, that's been tough for the past one day. I spent yesterday taking note, and I noted them in my phone because I plan on using my phone to record. Because there's only so much I can record at my desk with, like, a good-ish microphone. So I'm just gonna accept that the audio quality is gonna be shit, record on my phone, and get as many sound effects as I can as easily as possible, because there's a lot. And, like, I could, like, download a sound effect pack, and this screen is destroying me. I could download, like, a sound effect pack and, you know, find some reasonably good sound effects to use. But for one, I've already done, like, so much of this game exclusive. Wow. I thought that was it. I've already done so much of this game exclusively by myself. I'm not gonna fucking cut corners at the last second. And yes, thank you, Jacob. I'm not ignoring you, Jacob. Thank you for the music. Music is the one thing, especially because I've got Jacob, who is great and, affordable. Sorry, Jacob. I'll pay you back big time one day. But, yeah, you know, I also just, like, really enjoy the music he makes. I can't fucking do it, dude. So that's a plus. Good working relationship there. I do feel fucking guilty about not being able to pay him, like, an actual good amount, but I just, you know, I don't have any fucking money. Like, while I'm thankful enough to not have to pay rent, or, you know, for food, mostly, you know, I basically got, like, the amount of money I've gotten from, like, my grandparents from birthdays, which is a fair amount more than most people, I would assume. But I try not to spend it, because it's really not that much, and, like, when I'm going to be living on my own soon, it's going to go by very quickly, within, like, a month or few? A few? I would say a few, if we're conservative with how we spend, but... Yeah, anyways, I don't have that much. So I can't reasonably spend that much on a video game that I know is going to make me not that much in return. And I am thankful. The bounty below has actually... It's given me more than I thought it would. While I would say that, like, the player count is below what I expected, the amount that people have basically donated, the amount of people who have bought the Golden Cursor DLC is a fair bit higher than I would have thought. So I have just barely scraped above the amount of money that I put into the game. I've crossed over the threshold that I paid Jacob. Now it's all gravy. Well, actually, I don't even think that's true. I don't know. I'm pretty sure that the Steam numbers they spit at me are not my cut. I think that's just how much money the game has made. So I think given Steam's cut of 30%, unless they've changed that and I haven't somehow been informed, I'm pretty sure they still have the base 30% cut for starting out, which is insane that it gets better the more money you make. But anyways, I don't need to go on that again. I think I've already gone off on it before. Yeah. I'm pretty sure with the 30% cut in effect, I actually haven't crossed over the border of how much I paid Jacob, but one of these days it's gonna be income, baby. It's gonna be net positive. Not, you know, including the cost of living that I thankfully haven't been paying for. I know. Fucking scum of the earth, privileged piece of shit. spit on me. I get it. But, no, I am thankful to be in my position that has let me get this far. I'm fucking resetting. But at the same time, like, God, I think that's, like, the biggest bit of stress. Like, there's your day-to-day stresses that you accumulate, but then you get the tasks done, and that stress is gone, baby. You're fucking cruising. And then there's, like, the lifelong stresses that just kind of never go away until you're, like, a billionaire, I would guess. I'm pretty sure when you're a billionaire, you have no stresses. Well, yeah. I don't know, I was gonna say getting murdered, which I wasn't sure if I wanted to say that, but, I'm pretty sure billionaires are aware they're not the most liked bunch in the world, for good reason. So yeah, I would say that it's not exactly a shocking revelation that a billionaire would consider people don't like them enough. To the point that there's crazy people. There's people have been murdered for crazier than resentment towards billionaires, alright? Like, it's hard to mention the word billionaire in public without people thinking of a guillotine. I'm sorry. But it's kind of true. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't feel as bad about saying it now that I've gone through all the steps. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the one stress that they can keep to themselves and cry about online. I don't know, fucking Elon makes his own reasons to be upset. Like, it's actually so pathetic. I'll never understand anybody who actually likes Elon. Like, you can say what you want about his funding. Like, sure. It's a better thing to fund than, like, oil. Like, Elon could just be subsidizing the fucking oil business, right? But instead, he's, funding, and he has nothing to do with the development, but he is funding Tesla, right? Because he believes in some level of morality, I guess. Yeah, anything to help him sleep at night. He uses his money better than most, but he's still a billionaire, and there are problems that come with it. I mean, even Bill Gates, he went so fucking long. Everyone will have their own general, differences about how much or little you should resent billionaires just for being billionaires. And, like, look, he understands because he said that he's not the greatest philanthropist. He said in one interview, like, 15 years ago that the greatest philanthropist would be someone who gives up everything. And he gives up nothing. So if he admits that he gives up nothing, then he's one of us, right? He's a good guy. Because he's still donating. He's donating more than I ever will in my life. But, yeah, no. Bill Gates went so fucking long being in, like, the relative good books of billionaires. And you just... I'm not gonna get into it. Anyway, like, just what? Like, I don't get it. Like, what compels, like... Anyways, you can fill in the blanks of to what I'm frustrated with there. It's kind of similar to how I feel about people who have, like, made it on, like, Twitch and YouTube and shit. Like, I'll get into it on 2 accounts when I go over. I might as well bring them up. Like, I feel like it's better than just, like, showing the list of people I'm subscribed to, and there's 2... Actually, no, one of them I would just bring up because, I'm a fucking asshole like that, and it's recent news, and fuck Gus Johnson. But, the other one, I am still subscribed to them. I fucking unsub Gus Johnson immediately because I kind of just haven't really been liking anything the dude's been putting out recently anyways. Like, I feel like he made the logical pivot, right? The logical pivot from high effort, well, reasonably, I mean, compared to the rest of content on YouTube, high effort sketches to, you at least have to try and be funny, and, like, you have to have a concept before going into it. Like, I'm sure a lot of it is improv, but you have to have a concept for what the sketch is going to be. He very heavily pivoted from trying to be funny to doing what I'm doing, which is, you don't have to be funny at all to get something going on Twitch. And I never fucking watched his streams because, like, I kind of fucking guarantee dude wasn't busting out 10 out of 10 jokes nonstop like this guy right here, right? Like me. Like, I mean, it was already punching up while he, well, I don't know. Is it maybe punching down now because he's a piece of shit? And I would, you know, I like to consider myself not that. I used to be a piece of shit, all right? Slick back hair, steaks at your phonies. Sorry, sloppy steaks at your phonies. I don't fucking, you know, it's been a while since I watched the sketch. But you can't leave out the sloppy steaks. I mean, that's the most important part. Anyways, fucking references that, like, I get, but I don't honestly have a good grasp of how much of the rest of the internet gets. Aside, yeah, I don't know. Let's the two. Well, I guess one other person that I'm sub to that is a piece of shit. I just don't get, like, okay, yeah, let's cover that broad topic first before going into the other specific guy. What the fuck is wrong with people? Like, how are you so fucked up? I guess is what I want to say. And how do you continue to be fucked up once you've already gotten past, like, the hard part of starting a career in this, like, complete fucking random RNG-based gig, that being YouTube and Twitch. Twitch especially, like, fucking, you know, Gus pivoted. I'm like going back and forth between 3 different tangents, but yeah, Gus pivoted to the low effort content of Twitch, and I don't fucking know, like, his sketches just kind of sucked, like, the past couple of years as well. Like, I just found very little funny about the guy recently. And I don't know. I can go into, like, I don't want to be the guy who, like, goes into fucking why am I bad? Pseudo-psychology mode and is gonna fucking critique how their personality has divulged from the old Gus. Like, I'm not gonna do psychoanalysis, psychoanalyzing. But, I haven't been enjoying, like, anything the dude's put out in, like, a few years, and then, like, he comes out as being, like, a huge piece of shit. Like, that was the easiest unsubscribe of my life. So, I don't need to go, like, super into detail. Like, you can, I mean, it's recent. It's, it is recent information. So, I mean, not that I feel bad about bringing it up, but I don't want to go into the situation because it involves someone else that is, like, just a complete innocent victim of the situation. So, I'll leave it at that. But, fuck Gus Johnson, and also, how do you fuck it up so bad, bud? Like, what were you thinking? Like, I don't get how you can still make problems for yourself when you're already completely sorted. Like, the dude had live shows all across the country, and he didn't even need to go to those lengths because, like, he already pivoted a successful YouTube channel into a successful Twitch channel, which, as everybody knows, is the solid 1-2 punch into never having to work a real day in your life ever again. And he found a way to make up his own fucking problems. Not that the problems they were dealing with were fake, just that the way he handled them were unconscionable. And just, like, I can't, Like, the way he acted about it was just, like, he's a fucking 5-year-old. Like, he was like, yeah, I know that, like, you're going through, like, a bunch of shit, and that's, like, hard for you or whatever. But I got my own life I'm trying to do here, so, like, back off with your big, important problems, alright? Anyways. Yeah. I just won't understand, and will never understand. Like, how do you cancel yourself? Like, how do you get canceled, man? Like, it's one thing if you get canceled for something you did, like, 10 years ago, right? Like, I don't have a recollection of who I was 10 years ago. I probably said and did some shit that I would be like, to nowadays. Like, I grew up in the era, and, you know, I'm gonna, you know, say something that I don't agree with anymore, but you grow up in an era where people have, like, the slightest distaste for something, and they call it gay, alright? Like, it's not like an isolated to me situation. It's, you know, while some people will want you to believe that it was an isolated to 4chan or something situation, it's just like how fucking the entirety of every middle school in the era that I went to middle school in was. Like, you couldn't get away from it, so when that was the unfortunate norm, yeah, I probably called a few things gay. Alright, I'll admit it, alright, I'll say it. I probably, and I didn't use the bad word, I didn't use the bad F word, so I can forgive myself for that one a little bit. But yeah, you know, if you want to crucify me for calling a few things gay while I was in middle school, you can go ahead and do it. And I was never that cool, so I didn't even do it that much, honestly, props for being a fucking dweebus nerd who, in elementary school, his mother bought him an I'm addicted to RuneScape sweatshirt, and I saw no fucking problem with that. I wore the I'm addicted to RuneScape sweatshirt for borderline the entirety of elementary school. But, you know, when you're in middle school, you start to realize that that's not cool. You can't let RuneScape fly. But as I've discussed with my girlfriend, I would definitely, in the age of irony, be pleased as Peach to wear an I'm addicted to RuneScape sweatshirt. That's funny as hell. But yeah, it's certainly, you know, it's impossible to tell a fucking middle schooler. Like, even if I was instructed by someone who was cool that wearing a, well, I don't know, I probably would. Well, I was sussed though, you know? You gotta be a little sussed, right? Not sussed in the, like, I wasn't sussed out, I was sussy. I was, well, that also makes it sound like I was sussed out. Look, I'm gonna stop the Among Us. I was untrustworthy towards my peers that I viewed as cooler than me. Probably for good reason, because honestly, am I gonna go, here, I'm gonna, what, how many fucking tangents are we? How deep are we? It never went that far before. But, let's go on another fucking tangent about high school, this one, for like the short amount of time I went to high school. This is a situation where I should have been more suspicious of my quote-unquote popular classmates. And I say quote-unquote popular because, like, fucking popularity in school is such a funny fucking thing. Because as soon as you're out of school, like, it's just the most pathetic and, like, sad thing to think about. That, like, anybody cared that much. Well, like, everybody does. Like, I don't know. It's impossible to avoid. Anyways. Yeah, it was Valentine's Day, alright? Painting the picture. It was Valentine's Day. The popular group of girls that were in my science class were, like, urging me to come over to tell me something in secret. So they pulled me away. I was just happily doing my fucking science work, because science is one of the classes I actually enjoyed. So yeah, they pulled me away from doing my work like a good little boy, and like, there was no secrecy involved, so I already sort of should have been more sus than I was, but I'm just too kind-hearted, alright? I've got too white of a soul to possibly hurt someone's feelings. So the story they were going with was that one of the other popular girls, the only one that wasn't in the group that were talking to me, just had like a massive crush on me and wanted me to be their Valentine. Which I didn't buy. But like I said, I just, something in the back of my head was like, I can't fucking say no to this. Because, like, if they do actually like me, which there's no chance of. We've never fucking talked in our lives. Not that I cared to. But big if, they did actually like me, I'm not gonna be the asshole who's like, I'm not even gonna fucking talk to you, right? So I went along with it a little bit, and by that point it was already too late. And I very quickly realized that there was no way that this was a real situation, and there was definitely some ulterior motive, but I'm thankful that whatever the ulterior motive was, I never found out about it at the very least. I mean, maybe it was, like, painfully embarrassing, but, like, if I never knew about the embarrassment that I endured, am I really enduring it? You know? Like, embarrassment has to be felt, right? So if they did something to, like, mock me in any way, shape, or form, like, I didn't fucking feel it, so I don't really care, honestly. Like, whoever could have seen whatever the fuck they did with the photo they made me take, I wouldn't care about what they think of me to begin with. Even in school. I think, you know, am I ahead of the curve when it comes to, I didn't really care about what people thought about me in high school. I did for sure in middle school. But, in high school, and I think part of it is, like, just a little bit of apathy and letting go. Knowing that, like, I wanted to fucking leave. Like, school was never good to me. Not in, like, I was fucking bullied or anything, because I never was. And, you know, I had a great group of friends. Like, very close friends. They were always super nice to me. But I just fucking, I don't know. It's just that ADD, ADHD brain. School never clicked for me. And I probably should get medicated. But my experience with it in the past was not great. Like, I don't know what medication I was put on for ADHD, but it actually, like, completely sapped my personality. Like, I had my friends, like, come up and ask me if I was okay, like, if everything was alright, because they thought I was, like, morbidly depressed, when I thought I was just being, you know, like, normal. I thought I was being normal human with my normal person meds. But yeah, not the best, like, first experience with medication. I have nothing against, like, I know I said normal person meds in like, kind of a negative connotation there. Obviously for people who need and benefit from medication. Like, I am probably one of you. Like, I probably just experienced one bad ADHD medication and have resented it ever since. I probably should be medicated. But I'm not. Guess what, guys? The Joker's loose. The Joker's off his meds, guys. Crazy guy. Oh, fuck, I always forget you can't do that there. Yeah, that's me. I'm crazy guy. Anyways, yeah, they wanted me to fucking pose for, like, a Valentine's picture. The only reason I agreed to it is because I said I would take it if all of them were in the picture, because I was a little sussed, you know? I thought something was up, for sure. So, I did. I took the picture. That's like, my gullible moment in high school. Like, I mean, I say gullible. I knew something was up. And, like, it's immediately proven the next day after when, like, they go back to doing their popular girl routine of, like, being grossed out if you're anywhere near their vicinity. Like, You want to talk to me? So anyway, sorry. Just a new character, new bit I'm trying out, and it's a new bit. I've gotten so fucking far away from whatever the original conversation. Like, how did I go from talking about Gus Johnson to this? I'm Addicted to RuneScape was in there somewhere. I'm just looking at the floor of, like, a fucking beautiful sculpture I was constructing, and I just shattered it on the ground. It's like the personification of every stream. Just a shattered work of art. It could have been so beautiful, Will. You had it all in the palm of your hands, and you let it go. Just because you wouldn't take ADHD medication is honestly the real answer as to why I'm so fucking scatterbrained nonstop. I like to say it like, here's a little trick if you haven't noticed. I like to say, ooh, I was really scatterbrained on that stream, even though I'm awesome. Even though I'm the same amount of scatterbrained on every fucking stream. This one requires timing. Okay. Timing over. But yeah, I know my my train of thought is not the straightest path it could be. Could definitely use some work, but we get there eventually, most of the time, I would say. So, however many fucking trains of thought have crashed and burned in order for me to get here, those are just the brave warriors that... A necessary sacrifice. Ooh, I hate it. I hate it. I should have waited for the skinny one, because I know there is a skinny gap there. I should have waited for that to pass. Alright, we've successfully made it to the final area with 0 lives remaining. And no continues, I'm pretty sure. Awesome, dude. I did so much worse. I had, like, a really fucking good first run of this, and then every other one was pathetic. But at least we saw the final area. I'm gonna beat this at some point. I'm just gonna take this opportunity to podcast, because I don't really want to fucking start another run. And I don't really want to move on to the next thing I'm gonna do with so many empty threads of conversation not tied up into nice little bows. So get ready, it's fucking podcast hour. Hopefully it's not an actual hour. But, yeah, okay. Where were we? I mean, I basically treat my stream as a podcast to begin with, so... Just taking a moment at the end of an End is Nigh segment to rant for a little bit is probably fine. I wanted to... I feel like there was one other thread I could cap off before talking about the whole fucking how do people cancel themselves thing. Like, it really does baffle me. And, like, I mean, I fucking... I get... Like, I shouldn't... It's more understandable for billionaires to, like, do absolutely reprehensible shit, right? Because, like, when you make it that far, I mean, also part of, you know, being raised as, like, an ultra-privileged individual. I'm privileged. I don't think I'm ultra-privileged. I didn't get a small loan of $1 million or however much the joke is, even though it's real. Man's life is a joke. Almost sad. But, yeah, I don't think I would classify myself as ultra-privileged. I'm privileged enough that I could, you know, convince my mother into letting me, well, you know, leave high school early to make games. And to make games for, like, a few years, I mean. Well, about a year. A year is right. A year, and then I had to look for jobs, and then I moved in with my dad, and then I continued to work on games at my dad's, and then my dad's place is not the best living situation, so I moved back in with my mom, and that went back and forth for a little bit, but, somehow I got to the point where she just didn't care enough, so I just made games. And then I got a GameStop job, and then the GameStop job was, I mean, there was some pressure from my mom, but it was also just because I was originally planning on moving out, like, much sooner, but things changed, so I'm not moved out. So I kept working on games. But I'm getting close to moving out again. There is something, I think that's part of why I like streaming later at the night, though I do definitely want to shift it earlier in the day. I want to be on a normal schedule, I really do. And, yeah, it's probably not the best, like, you know, for fucking stream efficiency if you care about the numbers to stream at, like, the dead of night. But I do think part of it is, I mean, for one, I just kind of like the night more, and I can do late night Whataburger runs. But beyond that, it's nice knowing that I'm the only one in the house that's awake. I don't want any fucking eavesdropping. My mom found my Twitch channel. I tried my best to hide it from her. I made the biggest mistake of my life, dude. I linked my my YouTube to, or is it, did I just link my Twitch directly? I don't remember. But some link that I put on the Steam page for Bounty Below, she found my Twitch. Not super thrilled about that, but I get no sympathy from my girlfriend. I told Cassidy, I was like, you know, anguishing. Not really. You know, it's the playful amount of anguish where you're like, I'd rather you not know my Twitch, but it's also not honestly that big of a deal. It was just nice knowing that she didn't know, but I hope that she respects my privacy enough. She went through tons of VODs. Like, there was no stopping me, or no stopping her from doing that as soon as she found it. She definitely tried her hardest to embarrass me for, like, the first couple of days that she found the YouTube channel, but I've sternly told her please don't enough that I think she's actually not going to anymore. Or at least she's not going to tell me that she does, which is, you know, like I said about embarrassment. Like, if I don't know she's fucking doing it, I couldn't care less. But, yeah, I told Cassidy, and I was hoping for some sympathy, but she was like, nah. She, like, proudly told her mom about her fucking Tumblr blog as soon as it started to get a few followers. I could just never imagine that relationship with either of my parents. Like, I don't live the most private life. Like, obviously it is public, right? Like, the stuff I'm putting online is available for them to find if they try hard enough. And obviously my mom did. But it's just like, I don't know, the way I phrased it to my mom is I kind of see it the same way, is like, I wouldn't invite her to, like, hang out with my friends or anything. And that's the kind of vibe I have on my stream, is, well, you know, I'd like to get to the point where I actually feel comfortable. I honestly feel like I felt more comfortable streaming after the break than I ever did before, like, the multiple month break, which is good. The only problem now is that, like, for the first hour of streaming, I feel incredibly nervous and stressed about it for some reason. I say for some reason. I've already gone over the reasons. Yeah. Anyways, podcast mode. What's up, gamers? Yeah, what I was saying is, I can understand it more, though, like, the acts of billionaires are obviously much more vile and reprehensible than, like, most YouTuber, Twitch streamers that get canceled. I understand why they think they can get away with it, I guess is the way I'm gonna phrase that. More so than a Twitch or YouTuber, right? Like, if you've got billions of dollars, like, there's some scrubbing that can be done. But anyways, yeah. So the other one, the one that I'm actually still subscribed to, which you'll see in a bit, is Chaotic Monkey. Cryaotic. Popularly known on the internet for a while as Cry. For those who don't know what I'm talking about, it is the corpse husband before Corpse. Got popular for playing RPG Maker horror games and having can I do the having an incredibly cringe slow talking horror reading voice. They would go online and find horror short stories. Sorry, I'm gonna stop the ASMR. They would go online and find horror short stories and just fucking read them in like a really embarrassing voice. And yeah, that's how they got popular. The only reason I kept watching them for so long, I didn't watch a single fucking thing they put out on YouTube. But I liked the Saturday night live stream they did. Cry, Russ Money, Scott Jund, and Snake. All of the others are still fine. Seemingly no issues with any of them, although Scott has a lot of health issues, and I don't want to... I was gonna say Russ has a lot of sadness issues, but that's like... Come on, man, you can't say that. No, but he has reason. Like, fair... If anybody has reason, he has reason. But, yeah, anyway, Russ got fucked over super hard. More than any of the others. Well, okay. Less so than the victims of Cries, but he I don't know. Like, arguably, some of the I mean, you know, okay, I'm not gonna, you know, play the fucking who is more pitiable game against people who are unfortunate enough to have relations with Cryaotic Monkey. But, yeah, Russ got fucked over pretty hard. Anyway, this is, like, unnecessary drama delving. But, point is, only reason I'm still sub to the dude is because he said he'd be back. And I just need to be there. Like, I'm not the biggest drama guy, alright? But, like, when you're already invested in a community, and, like, I watched the Saturday night live stream, like, nearly every Saturday for years, right? While I don't go out of my way to find, like, the juiciest drama on the internet, if a particular part of the internet that I'm a part of, has some drama, like, yeah, I'm gonna fucking, of course, I'm gonna look at every Twitter thread call out and every response to the call out and every response that the canceled makes and etc. etc. So when he says he's gonna be back, I want to see what it is before immediately dipping out of there. But you gotta be there for day one, right? Day one of the guys, I was so bad before, but I took some time off and I'm good now. So you gotta be there for it, right? I actually genuinely don't think he's ever coming back. I mean, like, they had, at least from how Snake was talking about, they had actionable, like, legal disputes that they could put on him. But, I mean, obviously, well, I don't know. I'm pretty sure no legal action was taken, whether, you know, because the victim didn't want to get involved in it or whatever the case be. No legal action was taken. But there was talk about there being enough evidence that legal action could be taken. Anyways, yeah, fuck that guy too. Those are the YouTubers of mine that I subscribed to that got canceled. I think those are the only two. This is my tally list. How many? I think you get like when you go up to heaven, which is real. I'm not religious at all. Sorry. But when you go up to the very real heaven, I'm sure they've got a tally board. Those are like the modern good day points. How many how many people on the internet have you been a fan of that have been canceled? And the lower that number is, the more good boy points you get in heaven. And God will give you dino tendies. Yeah, I think it's just those two. Well, okay. I mean, Witwick's got canceled a little. Like, a little treat, a little tasty treat of canceling. I mean, honestly, he was like a medium. But, like, the thing is, like, I don't know, maybe, like, this isn't... I don't know why I give Witwick's leeway, but I feel like part of it has to do with the fact that he was originally canceled for, like, well, attempted to be for sexual harassment during a TwitchCon or something. And that story fell flat. Which kind of toned down the impact of the real thing that happened, that, you know, he fully admits he was a huge garbage shithead for. So I guess Witwick counts. All right, I'll include Witwick's. That's 3. Let me just fucking look. I mean, I don't think I'm following anybody on Twitch that's been canceled. Here we go. Twitch fucking front page autoplays, as it always does. Like, I make a good habit of, like, unfollowing people that I don't watch anyways. So yeah, I didn't expect. I don't really follow that many people to begin with. I wasn't really expecting to find any juicy cancellations in there. But, yeah. There was another thread I talked about earlier that I never really capped off, which is, let's just slowly work our way backwards here. I never capped off, there was like a massive difference between, yeah, and I got distracted by saying I said things were gay, and then, I finally made it back to, like, the thread that I wanted to talk about ages ago. Yeah, fucking... There's a huge difference from being canceled for saying something, like, in the modern climate that's unacceptable, like, years ago, in a time where it was still not a cool thing to do, but more socially acceptable. Why did my brain immediately try and make the connection? Do I want to say it? I was gonna say it's not the same thing as slave owners, okay? Okay, Abe Lincoln, alright? Or fucking, I don't know. Abe Lincoln probably owns some slaves, that motherfucker. I don't know all of the old famous people, all of the old, like, politicians that did or didn't own slaves, but Lincoln probably had a slave or two. And what I'm saying is that that's not okay, Lincoln. That's not the same. You can't get off scotch-free just because it was socially acceptable, and you can see the connection, and that's why my brain triggered it, but it's not the same thing, Jefferson, okay? You're not getting away with this one. Jefferson. Look, alright, I don't know my founding fathers all that well. I really just, like, history is painfully boring to me. And it's probably because, like, I've never, like, listened to hardcore history or any of the good ways to get into history. Like, I'm sure history has its perks and all that, but I know enough to make a painfully butchered joke, and that's good enough for me, honestly. That's about the amount of research I need to take. I need to fucking sit up straight, dude. Stop this gamer hunch, alright? Save that for your beta Minecraft streams. I need to get back to the alpha to beta to sigma to gamma Minecraft series. Because that's one of the series that I actually think, like, I'm proud of coming up with the idea of it. I think that that's a good idea for a series in general. And it's probably been done before, but I've never seen it done before, so I'm the original creator as far as I'm concerned. Anyways, yeah, it is a very big difference between saying something no longer socially acceptable in a time where it was socially acceptable, and just like doing some truly awful shit like that is never socially acceptable. I think that's a good, good distinguishing barrier to set up between those two. And that's why I can say that the slavery thing is still bad, even though you can argue that it was socially acceptable because other people were doing it. You should have known, alright? You should have known that treating human life as a product was probably not the smartest idea. Jefferson, I'm not letting you get away with this one. Okay, I'm done. I'm done with that topic. Fucking Christ, dude. Am I funny? Probably not. I ask myself that question every day. I think that's part of the slight barrier to entry to me starting streaming again, is like, I just can't accept that I'm funny. There are moments where I'm like, that was funny, like that was a funny thing I said, but I don't think I'll ever fully accept myself as a funny person. I think that's where Gus Johnson went wrong. And that's why I stopped thinking he was funny, is I think he got it in his head, real deep in there, that he was a naturally funny guy. I think that led to him no longer trying. And he quickly stopped being funny for me. But anyways, yeah, fuck that guy again. But in the way that, like, no one fucks him again, right? Like, fuck you. But, like, no one fuck him, please. And also, line, please. What the fuck else? What did I talk about before that? Yeah, procrastination, dude. I keep stun locking myself with the sound effect thing. Like, as soon as I get started with it, I don't think it's gonna take that long, honestly. I think, hopefully, even with my, like, mile-long list of sound effects I need to make, I think if I really keep my head in the game, I can finish the sound effect update by the end of next week. Hopefully. Because I don't want to be working on sound effects forever. It's also just, like, it's not what I do, right? Like, I like to make game. I think making game is fun. And I like the art part of it, too. Like, I like to draw a picture. I don't really have any interest in making a sound. I would like to make a music sound, but making a sound like that, that's not particularly interesting to me, so it's not something I really enjoy doing, and would like to avoid at all costs, but here I am. So, yeah, I don't think it's going to take that long if I can force myself to do it, but forcing myself to do something I don't want is an upward battle, that's for sure. Uphill, up. Is upward battle, is that the saying? I hope so. Anyways, it's like, Sisyphus or something. He's really named Sisyphus, dude. Anyways, sorry, we don't call things gay anymore. Look, okay, that one I'm proud of. See, that's a situation where I can say I'm funny. I like that joke. But am I funny as a whole? Can we break down what makes you a funny guy? I think that I do. I do think that constantly thinking you're the least funny person on the planet will go a long way to making sure you stay funny, if you ever were funny. That's the sad part about it. You'll never know. You'll never fucking know. But, I don't think it matters, honestly. Especially not on Twitch. Hey, yo! Yeah, but really, low effort content. That's what it's all about. That's why I've sat here fucking rambling on for like 30 minutes or however long it's been. I'm not even playing a fucking game. Not even playing a game. But, simultaneously, somehow, being... I'm not gonna... Look, I love to use the global Twitch atmosphere as a punching bag. I was gonna say simultaneously somehow managing to put more effort into my stream than 90% of broadcasters right now. But I won't. But I did. I said it. I'm sorry. Yeah, procrastination... sound effects, and also stream. Yeah, I made the space. It's kind of shitty though, right? I like the way it looks. Like, I do like the way it looks, but I need to do something with the input display and the timer to make them pop out a little bit more. I could do something like way too in-depth and like double capture the screen region for both of those, but like put a filter on it that like makes it completely black and then like stretch it out slightly bigger so it's kind of like a scuffed outline. But A, that would be scuffed as hell. B, I don't wanna. C, it would honestly make like the effort of setting up stream more annoying than it already is. And it's pretty low effort, but when there's like any obstacles I have to climb over to hit that button, it usually just doesn't get pressed. Cause yeah, I don't know. I'm anxious about it now. But anyways, the other thing I procrastinated with was watching, like, I didn't realize it was going to be that long until I started it. I was like, I'm just going to watch this one video. And even when I started the video, I wasn't planning on watching the full thing. But, even as a guy who's already watched, like, every single video Pan and Koic has put out, I still found myself watching a history of the A button challenge video that mostly just goes over stuff I already knew. But, I don't know, it's just fun to have, like, the thing you've already watched be put in, like, a more digestible bit of content. And it was a good... I should find the... Oh, fuck, but I watched it in incognito, because I'm a dickhead, dude. Let's see if I go to my YouTube front page, if it'll give it to me again. Yeah, I'm bad about that. But there is reason for it, right? Like, if you see a video recommended to you on YouTube, you don't want that affecting your future recommended videos. I want my recommendations to be exclusively Ryan, Gary, I guess playing Super Auto Pets, because that's a little bit overdone lately. But, no, I can't find it, man. I guess I could just, like, literally fucking search it, right? A button challenge. I'm sure, yep, it is the top video. Bismuth. Bismuth is the YouTube channel you can find that on. It was well done, like, really well done. And incomplete, which I didn't know at the time of starting, or I probably wouldn't have watched as much as I did. But, yeah, that was fun. It just blows me away. And, like, one of Panon's, I think the most recent Panon video, he uploaded it, like, yesterday. It just, like, baffles me. It, like, I mean, not only is it, like, an absolutely amazing, just unbelievable combination of efforts that has gone into figuring out how to route this, but also that they don't just care about A buttons pressed, but also, like, the amount of time it takes to complete the run. And I can understand it when it comes to, like, you know, cutting a 14-hour A button or 0 A button level or star. What the fuck am I? Who am I, dude? I sound like my mom talking about the Nintendo. Okay, that's an overplayed joke. Anyways, I always fucking hated the boomer Nintendo joke. Everything's a Nintendo. Just, it's not funny. It's not fucking funny, dude. And I know funny, which is why I know I'm not funny either. Okay. But, yeah, I would understand, like, cutting a 0 A press star that takes, like, 14 hours, down to, like, if you found even, like, a 30-minute, is like a massive cutback in how much time it takes to just run the tasks out, right? So, if you plan on ever doing a full run, which apparently people are planning on doing now, even though there's still a few A presses left. I mean, minimum, I'm pretty sure it would have to always be a 1 A press run, just because so many stars. I'm pretty sure, I mean, maybe I'm outdated on this knowledge, but I'm pretty sure there's, like, a decent chunk of levels that require the A button held down. Yeah, no, I know for a fact there's still a decent chunk. Oh, maybe I don't know for a fact. Anyways, point is, it just fucking astonished me that, I was gonna call him K's, different Mario guy, different purpose, that, Panon went through, like, I mean, the description sets it out as, like, a very large amount of effort to go into carving, like, a few seconds off of one of the stars, which is so funny. It's already 0 A press. It's already relatively short, all things considered, compared to other stars, but to cut a few seconds off is so funny. And it was, like, a lot that had to be figured out to get it to work. Like, I think my rough understanding of the situation is that there was something that was RNG dependent. I'm pretty sure it was the cloning was RNG dependent. Might be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure the cloning that needed to be done was RNG dependent. And there was, like, a very, very small subset of RNG values that would allow it to work. And I mean, I just, like, how do you even go about figuring that out to begin with, right? Like, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's just RNG. And just by manipulating the RNG, you can't necessarily guarantee you're going to get, you know, good or bad results. So, yeah, he basically, he went through the effort of making, like, a bunch of different brute forcers that just, like, tries, you know, the strat in, like, borderline every RNG configuration. Like, there is an in-game number tied to the RNG. It's a value that's called, like, every time in anything that requires randomness needs a random value associated with it. Anyways, that's just how RNG works in video games in general, and technology in general. But yeah, he brute forced, like, a bunch of different values to see what would work, found out that it's a very, very small amount of them, and tried to figure out which he could start the level with in such a way that he could then manipulate, because you can only manipulate the values to, like, a certain degree. He had to start the level within a certain range that he could manipulate it to the values he needed in the frames he needed. So yeah, just an insane amount of work to go into not punching a box at the start of the level. Because For whatever reason, punching the box at the start of the level with the right RNG sets the RNG appropriately with the way they were previously doing it. So, funny. Very amusing to me. I think I'm done podcasting. I think I'm ready to go on to the supposedly entertaining part of the stream, right?